I'm super excited that you decided to join the 1% Edge coaching group. I really believe, and this is my promise to you, like I said on the website, that if you stick with me for even 3 months, even 6 months in a year, that I guarantee you that your professional life will be very different at the end than at the beginning. And a lot of that has to do with all the things that I've shared in the app and on the website about how to learn differently, embedding learning in your lifestyle. And if you haven't seen those, I recommend that you do that. If you haven't read the Start Here tab and got a sense of how to learn differently and how to maximize the use of this app, then I encourage you to do so. One of the reasons why we will do what we do in this particular tab with the coaching group is in order to really get different results, you have to begin with how you think differently. So I'm going to share a formula with you, and I share it in every single one of my seminars. It is the foundation of everything I teach, and it's called the me formula, because as you know, there may not be an I in team, but there certainly is a me. And the me formula goes like this. If you would look at it very quickly here, it says E impacts T. I got to get my fingers correct here. T impacts F, impacts D, and then impacts B. That's actually the formula. So I'll tell you here in a minute what they represent, but the formula is E impacts T, impacts F, impacts D, impacts B, and the B equals results. Okay, now whenever anything occurs in a human being's life, in fact I call this How People Operate 101, this is basically the scenario that people run through. They run through this. And what's important is if you're going to coach people, if you're going to understand your own behavior, if you're going to get different kind of outcomes, then this is very, very important to know. Okay, so here's what it means. It means this. It means that, and I'll see if I get the paper right here, events, the E represents events, the T represents thoughts, the F represents feelings, and the D represents decisions, and the B represents behaviors. So here's an example. So basically, events impacts thoughts and feelings. Usually one comes before the other, but sometimes the feelings come first. The thoughts generate feelings, feelings impact decisions, and decisions impact behavior. Now, all of this can be done very methodically, can be very nurtured, or 0 to 100, and the event happens, the behavior happens, and then you say, oh my gosh, how did I do that, or why did I do that? If you want to change the behavior part, which is the B part right here, if you want to change that, if you want to change the result, then you've got to change how you respond or think or interpret an event. Okay, I'll go into this more detail as we go throughout our training together, but this is the premise of why the 1% app is so important, because if you can embed taking in new information, that means consciously changing how you think and doing that on a habitual, consistent level, it's going to impact your feelings, your decisions, and your behaviors, and ultimately your results. That's why I also created the app to be able to use with teams, because just because you tell somebody something once doesn't mean they're necessarily going to change their behavior or their response to it. We've got to recondition how we think so that we can get the different results from this formula. So the point of the app then, and the point of the lessons, is to continually be exposed to them, to get in the habit of using it every day. A lot of the lessons are audio based. Why? Because you can listen, in the background. You can listen not only on a conscious level, but also on a subconscious level. So we want to recondition ourselves both on a conscious and a subconscious level so that we can get different outcomes, get different results. That's really the premise. That's why we do what we do. That's the power of the use of the app on a regular basis. And I hope now that you've seen this formula, that's going to make a big difference in your motivation and your use. And certainly, I'll be doing the push notifications and that sort of thing, but this is the reason why you do it with you. This is also a formula I'll be using when I teach you about coaching, about a lot of different things. This is the bottom line to how to get different results in a way that's tangible and concrete And some of these things here, we may not be able to change the event, but we can certainly change the rest of this formula to get a different result. All right? So I'd encourage you to write this down. This is the basic premise for everything that we do. The point of the app is to help develop a new kind of thinking that will generate a different kind of result. All right? So continue to go through the lessons, but I want to give you this as the introduction because this is really the explanation of why we're doing what we do and really the use of the power of the app. Okay, you can go down and start to look at the first set of lessons. Again, I encourage you to have a notebook, or if you don't have a notebook, use the My Notes tab to keep all of your experience with the app in-house if you want to do that, or you can upload it to Evernote or Dropbox or wherever you keep housing your notes. But please use this on a regular basis so that you can really get the results that you want. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, you know how to get a hold of me. All right, talk to you soon.